Welcome to the laboratory, Quinn.
Hello. This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens. Yeah, well, she's looking in the real light now, and it's a little terrifying. I had to already mask my face and put smooth canvas on and do eye patches.
I did my morning routine, but because of my freckly face, I feel like it just brings out my red more.
So she's telling me what her favorite products are and what her routine is this morning. And we need to shut off the radio and all that good stuff because...
I like the background music.
Okay, it's just a little loud.
Well, obviously you can hear it.
It's a little
Good stuff.
Okay. What do you think about the setup?
It's wonderful.
Isn't
got
it?
Got it in lockdown. On lock.
Isn't it? It's so cool. And then this, I know you're not going to need.
You've had this since I was a child.
I have. It's my mirror. And yeah, show the mirror.
This is from 2001.
And it's so amazing because it like adjusts. It goes up and down and it's close and it's far away. The light stopped working, but it's the perfect magnifying mirror.
This makes me feel better about my face.
Right? So much better. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to be asking Quinn a couple questions, and then we're going to just do this for a minute. And then, do you need your brows done?
Yeah, you haven't done them in a while.
She really needs her brows done. So I'm going to do her brows.
She looks like her little baby self. It's the beauty of using moisturizer since you're 8 years old.
Like she was a beauty.
You would never guess I'm turning 30 this year.
She's turning 30 this year. Okay, so
with.
we're gonna do some brows because she hasn't made time to. She gets time to get her hair done, but she doesn't have time. And she doesn't do her.
You don't have time.
I don't. Yeah, we'll clarify that. I don't have time.
Accountability is key, Mom.
It is. Oh, I know.
Yes.
But this is not okay.
Equal opportunity. It's fine.
What do you think about the conditioners?
They're amazing. I keep them very smooth because I used to have. I wouldn't say that they were curly, but they definitely stuck out, you know. Yeah. So even when they get long, at least they're smooth.
When you see babas and you know what we're in for, you're going to want to condition for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I know. So at least I get to do it now.
Okay, so here's a question for you. What do you remember most about growing up around beauty?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I knew so much but so little at the same time because I was like second person to it. Like you had no reason to tell a 6-7-year-old like how to do things yet, but I was still listening to you tell other people about it. So it made me intrigued. So I would listen and just hear, and it's definitely evolved as time has gone on, you know, like from 2004 was very different from now, you know, so like the information evolved.
Okay, so this is a new experimental brow tint,
which is needed because
so instead of
you'll
having
hate me
a
for
gel,
what I do to my brows.
So instead of having a gel, and instead of having the fibers, I'll let you put this on. This is the blonde one. I'm just doing a light one right now. You put it on.
I just want to see it.
So
it looks like kind of like a gel, like it's texture.
Okay, so it just adds color. It doesn't add like. So be really deliberate.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So we're not making it dark. I'm doing it so I can tweeze you first before we have any.
You can just see all the hairs.
Yep, exactly. And then where's my little brush?
I like that it's this brush.
That nice? Isn't that brush amazing?
It's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you're gonna do.
Perfect.
At least you taught me this.
Isn't that nice? See?
Yeah. It's good.
Do you remember watching me do makeup on clients?
Yes.
And brows. Okay, tell your funniest brow story.
Was I 8?
It's not even 6 or 7. 6
or
7.
She was in between clients, and I was watching for as long as I have, and I think my eyebrows were starting to get like curly, or like one was weird. Like this was the intent. Like I literally just wanted to smooth out my eyebrows, and you had one of your little dishes that had the brow dye in it, and so I put it on there, slapped it on there, thinking it was. I wasn't trying to dye my eyebrows black or something.
She
but
just thought, I thought you were just kind of copying. Like you were just kind of like,
it was probably
I was putting it on people, and I was putting it on people, and she didn't see it.
I didn't see that it would turn very dark. So I put them on. 2 minutes later, she comes back, and my eyebrows are pitch black. caterpillar, ginormous. I did not put it on correctly. They
She
were
was
just
like 6 and they were coloring and they turned black and I turned around and I was like, what did you do? And I was like, look in the mirror and she
And
was
I
like,
started crying.
Oh my God. We were so lucky because that color was actually
For blonde.
For blondes.
Yeah.
So otherwise it could have been pretty disastrous.
Would have had to shave them off. Okay.
Exactly.
We should have had
Yeah,
we could have
so-
bleached them from.
What else do you remember? Because you just were always
mean,
around
was-
it. I mean, I was just
You didn't
always
open the
in beauty.
studio. You didn't open the studio until I was 13. I
Yes,
just turned
exactly.
13. You were at Joseph and Friends, and you were at the Old Town. And me and Zach would just sit in like the little lobby area the whole time, and I'd just hear you talk, and you decorated it very feminine and cute. And you just started out with the eyebrow stuff first, but I just remember you creating that image of what you wanted authentic beauty to be for like years before that, and talking to clients about it. Very generalization of that. Don't remember details or anything, but it was fun. I liked just being there, even when you were a personal trainer and stuff. You just brought us to everything instead of having us sit with a babysitter or at home bored and wondering where our parents are. we would just come, and it was fun, and it was fine, and it was.
Do you remember what I used to always say to you whenever we would go to an environment?
Be appropriate to your environment. That still sticks in my head with me. And
because you would go to different places, and if you bring your kids, you have to be like, look around. You did a great job.
Me and Zach did
You
a great
did a
job.
great job. You did.
We would have our random little spats,
have,
but we would just be quiet about it, you know.
Except for occasional times when I'd have to embarrass you in the restaurants.
Well, can't always help that. I'll never get used to this. It's so annoying.
But it's so much pleasure, though, at the end when you see how good they look.
If my eyes weren't so sensitive, but I feel like that's better than not being sensitive to
I
it.
love this tint that I put on you so much.
Does it make you see it easier?
It doesn't add any thickness.
Wow.
So that's the big part, is like when you have thick brows, it's like using something like the fibers, just make them thicker. And this just helps to, I know.
And that's, I feel like, the problem with a lot of girls my age is they'll use stuff to just color in and completely, instead of seeing eyebrow hairs, they're like coloring their skin. So it becomes like blocks, you know? And I've noticed that with a lot of my friends. But I'm not going to be the one to be like, why your eyebrows look like squares? So,
Well, that's the difference in being able to teach and understanding about getting your brows perfect without any makeup, right?
the
It's like
curse you've
having
also
your
put on me
skin-
is to notice these things now. So,
The curse.
curse.
The curse.
The curse of awareness.
Okay. So, and I guess you kind of already answered this, but was it fun or frustrating to grow up with a mom who was in the beauty industry?
I think it had its pros and cons.
Okay. Name a few. Name a few.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, I got free stuff.
Still gets free stuff. Shopping at Mom's studio. I'll put it on my account. Free services.
I mean, my hair looks like this. 'Cause I
Did
was in
you
the studio.
you feel like that I expected you to always look a certain way?
No, I think it was like innocent. It's innocent stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like you're mentioning you could be more beautiful if you did it this way. You know, it was never like an attack on my confidence, but like it was an ever learning process. You would it'd be like a joke more than anything. Like if I came out of the room at like 15, 16 with something weird, you'd just be like, what you doing? What's going on there? And then I would get a little like butt hurt, but then I would like be understanding. So.
Oh, hi, Ghosty. So I think that as a mom, one of the things that I'm like, oh God, like I always feel really bad about still to this day, because I can't help it, is in the middle of a serious conversation and be like, we really need to do your brows. And to be like, stop it, listen to me.
Can I get my point across? But it was always joking. The expectation of something, it was always very lighthearted and never like an attack on my beauty, you know? Some moms, I feel like, tend to do that and think they're being loving, but then they don't see that it's attacking their daughter's insecurities they may already have. You have to be able to keep it in a lighthearted way that has nothing to do with their self-confidence or how they are perceived and how they perceive themselves.
Yeah. So how could moms do better?
I think one, just listening and knowing your daughter more and being more aware of, being more observant of who your daughter is and what could affect her in different ways, instead of, oh, I didn't mean it that way, this is how I see it. It's like step outside of yourself and actually pay attention without having to ask questions sometimes, because there are a lot of things that girls don't talk about because they're shameful of it. Like, we all have shame, we all have fear. There's a lot we don't know, and if she's not learning it from you, she's learning it from society or from other girls who might be insecure or don't know how to do it. It's just a continuous conversation and a continuous learning of what's happening in society, what's happening on the internet, what's happening in the world. You can't be ignorant to it and expect, oh, my child's perfect, she would never do something like this, and then just being ignorant to like what your child does in the world. I'm not a mom, but that's what I've observed. Why we get along so well is because she always was curious and asked questions, and she knows what's going on in the world, and she knows it helps. She's in the beauty industry, but she always showed me videos. Like Dove did the campaign that you showed me a long time ago.
That's actually just what I was going to talk about. Was that perfect segue? I was very much about teaching her that to not adhere to an unrealistic standard of beauty, and showing her, the smoke and mirrors aspect to beauty is that, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And so,
I became a graphic designer because she showed me a video of how a woman was photoshopped for an ad campaign and completely changed from, like, Dove had that campaign. Yeah. I became a graphic designer and told myself I would never take a job that required me to completely change the look of a human being. So
and she came up in the era of when we first got our very first filters, and so it was really important to me to explain like this is all fake.
It's all fake. Especially with AI these days, you have no idea what's real.
Everything is filtered unless you're looking at a person.
And they could be the most beautiful person on this planet still. There are still beautiful women in this world, and they still get photoshopped. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And that's why when I grew up...
Everybody has pores.
When we grew up, we had supermodels because we actually had women that were perfect. And there was no such thing as Photoshop. They would get retouched, where an artist actually retouched their photo, but they were perfect. And so that's why so many women who are my age are really screwed up, is because we grew up with things called supermodels.
We also have to remember that they get paid to be that beautiful. Yeah. If your job all day, every day is to go work out, have a nutritionalist, like have perfect skincare routine, spend thousands of dollars on dietitian, whatever you want to call it.
No, we call it a nutritionalist. That was kind of fun.
Well, nutritionist?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Sorry, words are hard. But, like, that's what I try to tell even my friends to this day. They compare themselves to all these other people, and I'm like, do you get paid to eat well? Like, everything is catered to them to be beautiful,
And you have lighting, and you have a makeup artist, and you have a hairdresser, and you have a stylist.
I say all the time, we'd look like that, too, if we had the same supplies, essentially.
And I think, remember when you did your little modeling and you saw your pictures for the first time?
Oh God, I don't want to
know, but it was one of those moments where I think you were like, wow.
The mall thing that you let me do?
Yeah. I know, it was just for fun.
That was actually really funny because the talent portion I did perform Best of Both Worlds, Hannah Montana. And then a little girl came up to me in the food court afterwards and was like, hi, Hannah Montana. I think that was one of the best moments as an 11-year-old.
Now we have some brows done. There.
Wonderful.
Yay! Brows are done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is Quinn is going to play. And do you have your brushes and stuff with you or not? Oh, she's got all her brushes. There. So the cool thing that I forgot to mention is that Quinn is in the beauty industry herself. She is a graphic designer for a beauty company. So she gets to design the most amazing packaging and design things.
They have cool things.
Yeah, so she gets to see other things other than mine, which is nice because we hear feedback and all of that. So I'm going to let her just start doing her makeup routine, and I'm going to coach her through a few things because, her mom still might be able to teach her a few new tricks here and there sometimes if she...
I think everybody can learn all the time. No one's ever stopped learning anything. I'm fine with that. I will do said green stuff first.
Okay.
The green elixir, as it should be called.
Well, This
Now
is
that
the brow-
now that
it's the
Wicked is
brow
out.
revival.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it's beautiful. It's amazing. My friend Allison is out of hers, and I need to send her more. She sent me a Snapchat and was literally like, "It's gone." So she loves it. I gave it to her literally in July, and she uses that so much. She loves it. So it's amazing. Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, no, you're doing it right.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is push it in like this.
Yes. I only did a little bit on this side. I hadn't done it. There we go.
And then push it in. Good. And then
Now I use the brush.
Yep.
Comb.
Perfect. Do you like you're wearing your brows fluffy or straight?
A little in between, because if they're too much up, like I look like that looks crazy. So I love you, Mom, but it's a little crazy on you.
There you go.
There's the generational difference.
We just went from smooth to like bush, and I'm just like, there's gotta be in between.
Well, you know, okay.
But yours are short, so they look good. Like they're even, you know, they're still a little longer than yours. Like, look, come here, come here. Come closer, come closer. If I, like mine are still longer than yours, I feel like, in a way, you know?
Come mine up.
Yours are up. What are you talking about? Yes, they are. Okay, never mind. But if they were smooth too. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Maybe she should do my makeup.
No, it's too much work. I can't do mine and yours. I'd be exhausted before I went to my Braves game.
Yeah, she's going to a Braves game. Okay. Okay, perfect.
See?
Okay.
Look at the difference. Look, it can be in between. You see the in between? Like they're up in the front and then they smooth back.
Thanks.
I think there's an in between.